folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. How y'all doing? Down here coming to you from the man cave. Gonna unbox and assemble the FMS 850mm flash. Big shout out to Hobby Zone for sending this out to me for a review. And let's take her out, and we just looking how simple it is. I might just put all this in one video, unbox and go. But we'll see. We shall see. Now, this is not a slow bird. This is a quickly falling to the floor bird. 4-cell. Okay. Run on a 4-cell. Alright, we got all this foreign. Everything is in different languages on the side. Alright, we'll look on the back. Alright. You've got a 3536 1750 kV motor with a 60 amp ESC, 60 amp ESC, pusher configuration, top speed of 180 kilometers an hour. So what's that, about 120 miles an hour? Wow, I'm not flying it that fast. me or my camera lady could keep up with that. So, but. And as all these kind of, hey, and the manual's flat. Brian Phillips, you'd be happy, just like me. It's flat. Comes with a reflex, which this fast of a plane, you're going to want to need it. Also, the plane like this fast, you don't want much movement in your control surfaces. Remember, the slower the plane, the bigger the movement in the control surfaces. The faster the plane, the less movement in the control surfaces, because of the fact that speed going over a slower surface, you need more surface to get the movement. Speed going over a control surface, speed going over it, less movement, you still get the movement you need. So, big difference there. Okay, a very short little wing spar, but this is not. This is only 850mm wingspan plane. I guess they anticipate you breaking props, so they give you 2 of them, and that's also the reflex gyro system programming cable in there. Got 1 wing, very hard plastic doublers, and interesting enough, the servo linkages are on the outside. Oh, and the hinge is, not only is it a pinch hinge, but it has laminate already on it, so I'm not going to have to do the hold the phone treatment. If it's already got laminate on there along with the pinch hinge, then I don't need to do it, because that's basically doing the same thing. Very stiff, hard wing, very tight. Everything's already hooked up. Yeah, we'll just do this all in one video. You can see the individual cells, but you certainly can't feel them. This thing looks fast just sitting in the box. It looks fast. Oh boy. The horizontal stabilizer has laminate and very, very stiff. It's got 2 wing spars. It's got a wing spar going through here and through the control surface. It also comes with an FPV cockpit or battery hatch, which I will not be using because I'm not an FPV guy, because it makes me sick. Oh, this is interesting. The okay, I see. The rudder assembly sits on top. This is your rudder assembly. It looks like the whole thing just screws together. Yeah, all your control surfaces are hooked up, so that's a big time saver. So yeah, we can definitely do this in one take. Man, look at that cock. That thing just looks fast, you know. And then the fuselage is in here. This is called the Javelin. That could have been a good name. If they didn't just pick Flash, they could have picked Javelin. So, all right. Got a big old speed controller, 60 amp speed controller in there. Wow. Why it's turned sideways, I don't know. Oh, because, oh, well, that's because it won't fit sideways. All right, well, there's nothing to this. So, you know what? Let's get to building. Prop thing will be the last thing will be the prop. All right. Very few screws. Looks like you're going to have the one for the elevator. The one rudder, the elevator you'll have to hook up. I've got a dozen of these programming cables now. Okay. Some prop adapters if needed. Remember, keep track of your trash and or where your little baggies are, just in case you have to return the plane. All right, so you've got elevator, throttle, rudder, aileron, and then your S-bus coming out of the end of the reflex. And what you have to hook into the reflex are the aileron Y. The aileron Y. Okay. So, let's go ahead. The screws, Phillips head. Do this tape off the back of your rudder or vertical stabilizer. Okay. It would appear that we put the elevator in first, like so. Okay, yeah. All right, what you want to do, you've got this hard bar here. You're going to want to fish, and you grab your javelin. You see you got plenty of space. You're going to grab that hard bar, and you're going to fish. See that oval shape there? You're going to fish that hard bar in there. And then that'll slap that down in place. Grab two. Get rid of this foam here. Grab two of these. These are all one size of screws. Let's pause for just a minute. I think I have a visitor. Okay, we're back. My daughter came home. Okay, where was I? All right. So grab your Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to take two of the little black screws. They're all the same. And you're going to anchor down your horizontal stabilizer. I tell you, I'm resisting the urge to just take this thing and chunk it. Okay. Enough of that. Okay. There. This is not a beginner plane. Just so you're aware. She runs on a 4S. Ball link on the elevator there. Looks like this is ball link, yeah, everywhere else. So that's good. All right. Now, take your vertical stabilizer, otherwise known as your rudder, vertical up and down. Okay. already hooked up for you. You're going to see this little channel here. Fish the wire through that channel. And this is where having, I mean, go get 'em wires are great, but for leverage and things, these little tools like this that you can get, I got these at Walmart, Harbor Freight, you can pick them up. They're just simple little grabbers. You know, they're very sharp too, so be careful. Very, very sharp. Okay. That just sets down in there. Pretty as you please. All right. And you're going to take 3 of these screws. That's what I'll do. I'll do the unboxing build or assembly. This is an assembly, not a build. And then the next video will be the radius setup, because we'll be going over the reflex and how to do that. Okay. The only part that I won't assemble in the video or in this video is the prop. I'm not going to put the prop on. This is where a longer screwdriver comes in handy. Beating on that prop there on my knuckles. Go ahead and get the other side going. So I'm going to just screwing that in there. Oh, I was hitting it with the, that's why I was hitting it with the, all right, let's see if I can't finish this up with this. Alright, I'll finish tightening those up in a minute. Right. Okay, now on either side of the channel of the reflex are these openings. This is where you're going to fish through your aileron leads. You see a little channel right there. I'm going to push that up. Hold on. Good on. Okay, some of the foam is not opened up all the way. All right, so take your spar, put that through, take your wing, okay, put your that aileron lead through there. Yeah, it's wanting to, I'll have to clean that out. Shoot! Well, don't drop it. Alright, now to drop the plane. Wing just goes on there like that. This wing. You can see these channels And that just fits on a piece of tape on there. Now it's on there. See those channels right there? We're going to fish that wing through that channel. Make sure you're all right. There. That's in there. Now what we need to do is fish. See, there's a little bit of foam that's in the way. Just need to clear that out. Then you're going to fish this through. There we go. See, now here it's coming out there. A little channel. What you can do is take some clear packing tape and anchor that down, or put you a little bit of glue on there, or just whatever you want to do, just to keep that from moving around. Pull that out. You know what I think I'll do? Since I have such a strong, I'll use some of my hold the foam. Didn't have to use it on the control surfaces. This hold the foam dries clear. Now I wouldn't use it for structure, like holding a wing on or anything like that, but I definitely would use it to hold things like wires in place and also to reinforce a hinge. Okay, and that'll, because basically it's like Elmer's glue on steroids. That's how I like to describe it. Okay, and that'll hold those wires in there, keep them from moving around, and it dries clear. Kind of rubbery clear, so you won't even know it's there. All right, great to put on a hinge to protect a hinge. Okay, so the only hookup you've got as far as the hook a control surface is the one right here for your elevator. Okay, but let's not do that until we have ourselves bound up with a radio. It's got a Velcro already in it, and like I said, she runs on a 4-cell. I'm going to go ahead and put a 4-cell in there, kind of put it in the nose, mainly just to get it out of the way. I don't think that's where the CG is, but CG is probably going to be much further back, but I want to get it out of the way. Okay, XT60 connector, okay, and I know battery's going to be somewhere in there, so I have to think about that in way of spacing. Now look what I've got there. I've got this cutout right here. It's one of the things I like about these XT60s. Look what would just fit right in there. I could just wedge that sucker right in there. I wouldn't even have to. Look at that. Now my receiver is wedged right in there. Just wedge that puppy right on in there. But I probably will turn it around though. All right, into my receiver. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Remember these two aileron leads are coming out? Okay. Okay. You've also got, you're going to find coming out of the top of the reflex, look for these two that have these little clips on them. Each one of those, that is a Y that goes to the ailerons. Okay, so you see that yellow there? Okay, the yellow on the very top, right here next to my pointer finger, and then the yellow on the aileron servo lead. You're going to hook those up that kind of polarity, light to light, dark to dark is always the way that goes. Polarity is always light to light. You can feel that click in. And we can take that wire, I can twist that wire a little bit, tuck it down there alongside the reflex. I'm going to take my other one, grab my aileron lead that I fished through. I'm going to hook it up, light to light, dark to dark. Okay. I'm going to twist them a little bit. I'm going to tuck them down besides that reflex. Get that up out of the way. Okay. Then you're going to take the lead that came from your vertical stabilizer, that long one. You're going to look at your very top of your reflex up here towards this end, and you're going to see one, the very top up here, closest to the aft end of the plane. You're going to see a port. You probably won't be able to see it on camera, but just trust me. There's an opening. There's one port that's open. That's a top load of your rudder. Okay, and the white or the light color goes this way towards the label on the reflex. That plugs in there. Okay, twist that wire, get that out of the way. I'll probably put some zip ties or something, get all that cleaned up. What you want to be left with is only these leads coming out of the reflex, and then of course your throttle cable. Okay, so with a Spectrum receiver, channel 0 is your bind, channel 1 is your throttle, channel 2 is your aileron, channel 3 is your elevator, channel 4 is your rudder, channel 5 is always gear, and channel 6 is flaps or channel D, or whatever 3-position switch you want to assign on your radio. But channel 6, so in this case, we're going to use the gear channel. Okay. Yeah. Actually, no. We'll use channel 6, the flaps. It's already normally be a 3-position switch, and instead of assigning it to D, we're going to take aux 2 because that's going to be the second auxiliary thing on the receiver. We're going to put that on our D switch or wherever I want to put it in the radio. I probably like that stuff on B. That's a 3-position switch, but that's what we'll do. We'll change our flap channel to be channel B on the transmitter, and that will be the 3-position switch. So, but for plugging it in for the receiver purposes, we're going to take throttle and put it into channel 1, which is actually the second one in from the top left. Well, if you're looking at the receiver this way, it's actually the top right. So, but anyways, channel 1, it's labeled on a Spectrum receiver. It's labeled light side up. Light side always goes towards the label of the receiver. And then we're going to find our aileron lead, light side up. That's correct polarity. Then our elevator. And then our rudder. And that's the same basic 4 channels, okay, for the controlling the aircraft. But for the 3 parts of the reflex system, we need that 5th channel. Remember I talked about using the flap channel? Okay. That is the next one. Okay. Now, so the way that's going to end up looking is on a Spectrum AR620, you're going to have a port open on this side, which is your bind, and then you're going to have a port open on this side, which would have been your flaps. And you know what? I did that wrong. I said I'm going to put the flap channel, so I'm actually going to put that in aux 2, which is 6. I didn't mean to mislead you there. I'm sorry. 5 is usually for gear. So this is the way it's going to end up looking. You're going to have your bind port will be open. You'll have your 4 main controls. You'll have a space there. You can see behind it. Space there. See my finger now. And then you'll have your S bus put into your aux 2, which would normally be reserved for your flaps. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove all them in there. Okay. nice and tight. I'm going to take the wires, twist them just a little bit for management, but not enough to bind them. And then I'm going to wedge, okay, that receiver into that opening, making that a nice and clean, very nice and clean. Now look at that. All my wires are tucked away. Okay. I've got my receiver wedged right in there. And I've got tons of room to move the battery around for getting my CG ready. And the safety warning magically got cut off because it's in the way. All right, now we should be able to take that, put that right there, and you now have the finished flash. I'm going to go back and anchor down them screws a little bit better, and I still have to do the, oh look at my glue isn't, well I hadn't set up yet. I still got to put the screws in the wings, but that's the basic build. So yeah, I'll put the screws in the wings, but that's all I'm going to do. I mean, that's all I'm going to put them 4 screws in that I have left, anchor down those 2 screws, and that's the basic build. So the unbox and build, and the next video will be the radio setup, and we'll go over reflex and rates and this, that, and the other. Okay? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all, and don't forget faith, family, and friends, and then planes, especially fast ones that look like javelins. And a big shout out again to Hobby Zone for sending this plane out to me for review. I really appreciate it. It looks super fast, super cool, but I will tell you right now, when I go to launch this thing, I am not going to do it that way. That's just begging to have my fingers lopped off. Instead, this thing's got plenty of power. I'll be going underhanded like that because I got that whole rudder to protect my hand. So, just to let you know. I've watched enough videos on this plane. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the screws in right now. Put the screws to it, man! Y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. God bless y'all. And don't forget, faith, family, and friends, and then jets. Might as well call it a jet because it's going to fly faster than one. And I know I just repeated myself, and that's the way I am. Bye.